Hello there, friends. It's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today is a sneak peek. So we've got day 2 of the Trinity Stamps sneak peeks. These are older products that I'm showing you. I say older, they were just released last month. We've got our world's greatest stamps and dies. We've got our clean cut layers A2 set A, and we have our A2 foil frames. And we're going to be showing you a couple of new things. We're going to be sneaking them. So let's get into that. I have jumped right into coloring up a stamped image from that world's greatest stamp and die set. And it's this flower, and it's going to go perfectly with the stitched pocket that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. That is one of the things we're going to show you. And because this is a sneak peek, I'm not going to show you like all the products. You're just going to see snippets of it. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and color these up with our alcohol markers. I stamped these out using some blackout ink from Ink on 3 onto some Express It cardstock. And then I'm putting those colors up on the screen for you. Those are the Olo alcohol markers. And we're just about done here. And as soon as we are done, we're going to bring in the matching die to go along with this. Now, the stitched pocket is so cool because I feel like there's a lot you can do with it. And that's why I was looking through my stash of goodies and I thought this set of flowers would be perfect with that stitched pocket. Before we do the stitched pocket, I am showing you a stamp from another sneak peek. This is our Smarty Pants stamp set. And so you can imagine it's going to have some really cute punny sentiments to go along with it. But I'm inking up the big long stamp that has all those jeans or pants on it. And I'm inking those up with some Prom Queen by Simon Hurley Create and stamping that down. Now, of course, I'm going to do some foiling, because, you know, I love to do all the things. And so I've got my polished brass foil that I've cut down with my quick trimmer because, as I said, we're going to be using our A2 foil frames. Now, I want to use 2 of those frames, and I don't want to waste much of this foil at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the center of that foil because I don't need the center for the big frame. So we're just going to cut out of the middle. This is where the quick trimmer comes in extra handy. And then this way I can use this smaller piece of foil for the little panel that I cut. Now that little panel that I cut is roughly the size or a little bit bigger than a gift card because it's going to go inside the pocket that I'll show you here after a bit. I'm just tacking down my frame on top of my foil. So we've got our pretty side up. The foil goes on top of that and everything is then attached to that cardstock using some mint tape. We're going to do the same thing with this. I realized that I've messed it up. So we're going to flip that over, pretty side up, put our plate down on top of that. Then we'll tack it down with a little bit of mint tape all to that piece of cardstock. And when the time comes, we will set that on top of the Glimmer Hot Foil system. Now I have lots of videos using the Glimmer Hot Foil system, so you can go and check those out if you'd like. But once the little green blinkies are all done, we run that through our die cutting machine and with the special plates, and we get our foiled image, which is that rectangle. And then we're going to add a little bit of the adhesive foam strips to the very top of our panel that I've cut and stamped and foiled, and then we'll peel off that release paper and we can stick down the flowers to the top of that. So like I said, we're going to put a gift card with that, and that'll fit nicely into the pocket. Now, I've cut my panel to be a little bit too big, but a gift card itself will fit in the pocket that you'll see very nicely. Okay, so now we're ready to do the big panel, and this is a 5x7, so that's why it's not perfectly centered on there. I wanted a big 5x7, and these are A2 foilers, and I used the biggest one on there. So here's our pocket. Isn't that cool? It even has some score lines so that you can make it like an actual pocket for things to go in. And so you just fold on those score lines. I want this to stand out a little bit more from that background, so I'm going to bring in that ink that I used earlier and a blending buddy, and we're going to just blend up the edges. What that's going to do is darken those edges and add a little bit of contrast from our background to our pocket. And I'm also going to do it to the edges of this 5x7 panel. I will trim down this 5x7 panel just a little bit more here after a bit, because I do want the white card base that I'm going to be using to show. So we'll just trim that down a tiny, tiny bit to have a little bit of that white border showing. I've brought in my Crafty Gluefriend. We're going to attach down the pocket to the front of our card panel. And then, as you can see, I've got my gift card and I've got my little piece. That way you could sign on the back of it or behind it or whatever you wanted to do, if you wanted to do that at all. But like I said, the one that I have cut with my little jeans all stamped on it is a little bit bigger than the pocket. You could trim that down if you wanted, but I'm not going to. I want those flowers to stick out a bit. So here we are trimming that down. And then I'm just kind of playing around to make sure that everything goes in there. Like I said, that sticks out. And then we're gonna bring in some sentiments. These sentiments, those come from that Smarty Pants stamp set, and they're, like I said, are some cute punny sentiments. This one says, "Congrats, Smarty Pants," and then the other sentiment says, "You did it." So I'll stamp those down onto a white piece of cardstock and then add the matching dies to go with it, because yes, there are matching dies. I love that. I always love that. So we'll have those, and then I'm going to put those adhesive foam strips on the back of those. They almost fit perfectly. In some areas we'll have to just trim it down a tiny bit, but otherwise the adhesive foam strips work perfectly. Next up, we are going to take our card base, which I cut down to 7 inches by 10 inches, scoring it at 5 inches. So it is a 5 by 7 card. We'll use our Crafty Gluefriend on the back of our panel to attach that down to our base. And like I said, we'll have a little bit of a white border all the way around. And then we can attach down our sentiments after we release the paper, or take off the release paper on the back of those. I've decided to bring in some Goldrush flatback sequins, and so I'm using my pickup stick along with my Crafty Gluefriend to attach a plethora of those down, because yeah, I love to add lots of bling. And I've always said I kind of struggle with where to put it, but I end up usually putting them always in the same spot on all these cards. Sometimes it's a little less. Today was a lot of bling. And then I'm going to stamp up those jeans again, and we'll put those on the inside of our card base, just to have a little bit of that outside on the inside. And then once we're done with that, that's going to finish off the card for today. So I hope that you enjoyed this sneak peek of a couple of new products that will be available on May the 9th. So make sure you head back so that you can go and check that all out on release day. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.